Well, howdy folks. It's a gloomy day here in Eastern Ontario. It's Monday, August 17th, and time is flying by. I'm up here on the flight deck. Going to give you a little tour of what's been going on up here. There's certainly lots going on down below, and it's getting really confusing, and I'm certainly way in over my head, especially with the electrics. And I've learned a lot of things in the last few weeks. The navigation lights that I bought 20 years ago, before we actually started building the boat, which a lot of this equipment was acquired at that same time, are not compliant with current regulations. So I have to acquire proper lights, which I'm doing, and I have to completely rework the wiring for said lights. That's just one of the things that's going on. I've got the 4 solar panels on the flight deck. They're all wired up, but they're not cable managed and fastened down yet. We'll go down below later and I'll show you what's going on down there. And as you can see, everything's in a complete state of disarray, but that's normal for this project, so deal with it. Kind of thing. So a lot going on. It's all getting very technical and complicated with the wiring. I thought I could put the system together organically by installing one piece of equipment at a time, running the wires, all kinds of stuff. And I'm finding that that's not a workable solution, so I may have to go back to the drawing board, and I'll show you the original design for this boat, which was done well over 20 years ago, before lithium iron phosphates and solar panels and MPP charge controllers and servo GXs and all that stuff were even a thing. So now I'm trying to play catch up, and my experience with wiring on. So as I was saying before the camera decided to turn itself off, was my experience on this scale is 0. I've tinkered with wiring in cars and speakers and stereos and batteries, and on our previous 2 boats I did some pretty substantial rewiring on both of them, on both the DC and the AC side, and so I have a bit of experience, but nothing that prepared me for this project. So I'm spending a lot of time online researching. I've got Charlie Wing's book, which I'll stick a picture of the cover up here, and it's very informative, but it's dated information as well. It doesn't cover anything about lithium. I don't have a current copy of the ABYC standards for electrical systems on boats, and a big major change over the last few years has been the inclusion of lithium iron phosphate batteries on boats, which we will have. And I don't know what the hell they're doing over there now, but they're making a lot of noise. Anyways, but yeah, with an amateur built boat with lithium batteries on board and complex electrical systems, when the insurance surveyor comes aboard, he's going to pay an added amount of scrutiny to everything that I've done. So I'm doing as much as I can to ensure that it's all compliant. So that's pretty much where we are. The doors have been fabricated, the frames have been fabricated for the side cabin entry doors, but they haven't been installed yet, so I want to get that done. Hopefully I want to get the entire top sides in finished paint, so I can install the windows and stuff for this winter. So let's go have a look around. So this is the flight deck in its current condition, and you can see there's some wiring going on and panels are in place, and this is the small 100 amp panel that's going to charge the battery for our bow thruster, and it's wired in here. The cables enter down through the deck, through the watertight gland, and I'll show you where those terminate. This is the starboard navigation light, and it's wired in, but this light has to be changed, and I'm hoping I don't have to change the wires. The searchlights are installed. The horn is installed, hasn't been wired up yet. the mast was all installed with the lighting in place and the wires run, and cabling through the watertight box down into the boat. That's all got to change. So that's pretty much where the flight deck is. Oh, the marine VHF antenna is in place. So we'll go down below and have a look. So I apologize for the fan noise in the background, but our lights are on the same circuit. So here's the main cabin. Usual stated disarray. Mostly electrical stuff. You can see a whole bunch of wire there. I've already pulled out, and I'm probably going to pull out a lot more. When we talked about the solar panel wiring, we can see where it enters the cabin top here. I'll trim these screws off. That's the solar panel wire. It's hooked in series, so the positive cable does a home run all the way to the solar disconnect. That's this red one here. The black one goes over and it connects to the panel next to it, and it's daisy chained until that black wire, which is the negative or the ground, enters over there somewhere, right up in there. And they all come across this bundle of spaghetti, and they go down below here. Yeah, they go down below here. So let's go down and take a look. It's amazing the amount of tools and materials that you need to actually do electrical. It's just astounding. But standing in my light, shit's flooding on this here. Okay, this is our electrical cabinet. There's going to be some changes take place here as well, but the solar feeds come in from that corner and run across, and they both come down into the solar disconnect switches, which are what allow us to isolate any solar input into the boat, as well as they are DC breakers. So once they're energized, if a solar panel takes a crop and decides to over voltage, it will trip those breakers. That's required by the standards. And then the output from each set of solar panels goes into an appropriate charge controller. This is the small one for the forward battery, and the one that will be here tomorrow is this big one, which is for the house bank. And we've got on the board our Servo GX, which is the computer for the whole electrical system. And one of the reasons I had to move away from the Renogy and stick a picture up of what the panel looked like before is one of the ABYC requirements for audible and visual warnings, and the Victron equipment, or sorry, the Renogy equipment couldn't do that. So I started to acquire the pretty blue boxes to make this all work. And it will work, I hope. So it's supposed to. Otherwise, I spent a lot of money for nothing. But rethinking a lot of the wiring, and I had two fuse boxes here. If I get it up here, and the one on the left was going to be for all the house loads that come from the main battery, the house bank, the two lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this one was going to be for any loads that are essential, such as navigation lights, horns, searchlights, etc., that would be powered by the main engine start battery, and that would be connected from the house to the, what the hell they call it, the engine panel that's in the dash. So I've got to pull all this wiring out. I haven't used non-standardized colored wires, so a few of these have to change, etc. And that's pretty much where I am, in over my head. But we'll get there eventually. So I'd like to thank everybody for sticking by us. I'm just gonna have to sit down here and a coffee. We're still fumbling our way through this. We'll get it done. It just seems to take a lot longer. I'm learning as I go, because I have to, because nobody else is going to do this for me. And sometimes I do jobs 3 or 4 times, and that's the way it is. Life on the boat. So again, thanks everybody for looking in. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you got any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. We answer them all. Or you can check me out on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description, and we have some pretty good conversations going on there with regards to the electrics and stuff like that. So from Lori and I and furry 4-legged overlords that rule our house, cheers everybody.